Fancy like Husky, fancy like Husky, fancy like Husky, fancy like Doggy bowl empty, Lakers pool sleeping, rug pull, cash grab, NFTs delight, rug pull, cash grab, idiot.
What's going on, folks? It is race day. It is time to figure out who will be the top 8 drivers for this championship for the ASRA Harpoon Design Cup Series. Right now, we're in Martinsville, the world's most famous paperclip, and man, we are getting ready to see who can tame this half-mile beast. Going to be very difficult, very, very packed on this track, but I cannot wait to get this thing going right now. Welcome to race day, folks. Big thanks to you for being here on the YouTube or X side of things. Cannot wait to get this thing going as always. So right now we're going to be jumping down trackside for qualifying. One lap will determine it. Should be a lot of fun. Let's go down there and see what's going on. Bunch of guys already out qualifying. Again, one lap is all they get. William Griffith looks like going to be taking some time here. Christian Angel already on top of the board. Jackson Anderson. And there he is, trying to do what he can. Mark Whitley up front. Good first lap right there. 19.71. Fast stuff right there. James Kaufman as well going to try and make his best effort. A lot of these guys, keep in mind, in different brackets for the championship. Obviously, we have that main championship, right? And all of them will have that green playoff banner on their cars, just like Joseph Mealy right here. Number 6 has that lime green banner on, so watch out for them as they fight for this. Mealy right now outside the top 8 on trying to get his way in, but a long race ahead of us. Tim Robb rockets to P2 right there. Great lap. Just off of Mark Whitley. Tim Robb was quick last week in Darlington, but something happened mid-race and he just kind of fell back, but a long way to go. Here he is. The Fetch 300 here for Martinsville, and the Fetch on the hood by Hosky. Man, looking really good right there. Number 2 car, Nick Lights. Gonna try and go for it here. Devin Smecker, not too far back. Warming those tires up. Good stuff. Blaze Crawford. He's back from the Contender Series. Congrats to him. Just got into the top 30 in that Contender Series. So if you're not sure what that means, basically he's eligible to become a Coke Series driver, which is really, really cool. So next year, hopefully we see him in that iRacing Coca-Cola Series. Definitely well-deserved. So here, though, to try and win this championship in first, lay down a qualifying lap. But that car looks pretty quick. In practice we saw. We'll see how it turns out here. Smecker up to the front right here, 19.66. Really, really fast. Scott Gasorn, P13. Blaze got P9 right there, so not terrible. Frankie Barroso out on track as well. A lot of these guys need a good day today. Just a solid top 10 day could do it for him. Frankie didn't practice or didn't actually make a lap right there, so interesting. to say the least. Andrew Phipps on track right now. Always qualifies well. So where will he end up here? As we come down to it. Some warming of the tires. Ooh, really, really cool. Slick right there. This race, by the way, folks, going to be very, very interesting. So you can see we're in nighttime conditions. That's not going to last much longer. This is the one track on the schedule. It's a little interesting, I guess, as far as setting. We're going to be starting off in the early morning. So right now it's morning time. In the dark, it's about 2, 3 a.m. In the sim. And then as the race goes on, probably about halfway through, I would say, we're going to start to see sunrise. As right now, Brendan Bowie gets the pole, 19.58. Brendan's 6 in P4. About a 10th off right there. So starting to shape up here. That top spot, about 30 seconds left to go. Andrew Phipps runs his lap. So we're going to get sunrise conditions. You always see us having sunset conditions, right? Going into nighttime. But right now, we're going to go from night into day. Typically, we do this once a year, just kind of for the hell of it. And we'll see how it ends up this time around. Last season, I forget where we had it. I feel like it was maybe Iowa. I could be wrong there, but it was a lot of fun. Something different. Oh no, it was Gateway. It was Gateway, and that was interesting. The track really gripped up in weird ways as it came today. But that's going to be it, folks. Qualifying over. Brendan Bowie going to be your pole sitter right now. Great effort as he tries to get himself into that next round. It needs a good day today. 10 points to the plus. A lot of these guys have a solid day ahead of them. Right now, a warm-up session going to be underway, about a 5-minute session here. We'll give them some time. Oh, Michael Johnson actually snuck his way to P2, I believe, in qualifying. So good stuff there, too. We'll step aside, folks. We'll thank our sponsors. We'll come right back and get to the green flag here for the Fetch 300.
Fancy like Husky, fancy like Husky, fancy like Husky, fancy like Doggy bowl empty, Vegas pool sleeping, rug pull, cash grab, NFTs delight, rug pull, cash grab, idiot.
Welcome back, folks. Right now, underway for practice. A little bit of warm-up session before we go green flag here. Lots to talk about in this race, man. Unbelievable. Brandon 6 right here on your screen, that number 66 car. He's already locked in. He won last week in Darlington, so he's good to go as far as the next round. So today in Martinsville, kind of just going for a trophy, really. Playoff points do help him as far as getting into the next round and whatnot, or even the top 4 once we get there. So a lot on the line still, but as far as eligibility, he is good to go for that top 8. So no worries here for him today. But a bunch of guys still going for it. Tim Robb going for that Challenger Series playoff spot. A couple of guys here looking to get all kinds of things done. Julio Villalobos on track as well. Right now in that 45. Looking pretty fast as well. But yeah, your pole sitter, Brendan Bowie, going to be starting off in that P1 spot. Looked very, very quick earlier on, and here he is in that front row. And that's the thing about Martinsville, right? It's just so track position dependent. You just got to be up front. It's going to be really, really tough to pass. And I mean, hey, there might be a lot of cautions tonight, I will say, right? Martinsville's typically one of those tracks that, you know, leagues try and maybe avoid just because it is so chaotic at times and it's so tight and braking zones and acceleration points. Look at that right there. Fleming just hits that curbing on the inside and around he goes. So could be a long one tonight with the yellow flags, but you don't know. I mean, I've seen some races with these boys lately that are just really, really impressive. I think back to last week at Darlington, right? Tough track. And one caution the entire race, right? So that's really, really special to see that. So today could be a fun one for sure, yet again. So a lot going on today, obviously. Playoffs are underway, and this is the last race in the round of 12. So we have 8 drivers going to be championship eligible after this race. Long way to go, though. 300 laps today to decide it. Stage 1 will end on lap 50, and then 150 will be stage 2. So a long way to go. But these laps, they rattle off very, very fast. So we'll find out pretty quick. Oh, Salyers into the wall. We're going to see that a lot, I feel like, today. A lot of getting loose off of exit, I feel like. If a caution happens into the corner, it's probably going to be because of someone sending it, you know, or braking zone differences. If it's on corner exit, probably going to be guys spinning out, right? Hitting the curb, things like that. Either way, though, Martinsville is the place for this last race of the round of 12. The Fetch 300. We're going to get down right to it in just a second. Right now, trackside. Always a very, very fun place to get this thing going on. In the front of the field is Brandon Bowie. There he is, pole sitter for today. In the number 34, Gremlins Cards Machine going to be leading the field to the green flag. Devin Smecker in P2. Watch out for him, has the speed. Had speed last week too. Looking really, really good so far. Mark Whitley in 3rd spot. Brendan 6 going to be in P4. Tim Robin P5. Christian Angel in 6th. Great starting spot for him right there. Michael Johnson P7. Dylan Bates in P8. Nick Light's 9th. Amelia in 10th. Matthew Fleming in P11. Blaze Crawford rounds out in 12th place. Jackson Anderson 13th. Dohar in 14th. Matthew Pont rolling out 15th. Grant Salzano 16th. Austin Salyers in P17. Scott Casorn next in line in P18. William Griffith, there he is, P19 right there. James Kaufman 20th. And then rounding up the field, Brady, Phipps, Zelazny, Daryl Young in 24th. Villalobos 25th. Marshall Harris 26th spot. And then Frankie Barroso actually being shown in 27th in the pits. So, man, not sure what happened there. I thought we saw him qualify, but maybe he didn't or wasn't able to put a lap down. That's huge right there for his playoff hopes. Starting in the back is not going to be the preferred way to get this thing done. So, either way, 27 cars going for this win right now. I'll tell you what, 27 cars at the tail end, or almost the tail end of the season. I gotta say, pretty impressed by that at a hard track. What can we see today? We're gonna see good racing. We're gonna see yellows. But man, I cannot wait to get this thing dialed in. The world's most famous paperclip, 300 laps. We're gonna figure it out. Pace car off, obviously, in just a minute. Brandon Bowie, Devin Smecker, gonna be leading us off. Who can get the job done today for the Fetch 300? Playoffs are on the line. The round of 12 is concluding in Brandon Bowie and Devin Smecker leading us to the green flag. Here we go, Martinsville, under the lights. We're green. And already, our first yellow flag of the day, Jackson Anderson And Austin Salyers tangle up right now. Looks like in turn 2. I don't see a lot of damage from either one. Maybe some right front damage on the 19, but not terrible. We're going to get a workout today from the race day replay. Let's go back and take a look real quick. This might be too early here, but we'll find out. It's already gone down right there. So Jackson Anderson maybe got loose. We'll find out a little further back. So here we go. Jackson Anderson starts off well right here, it looks like. Oh, gets hit from behind by Pont. Yeah, just a big stack up right here. Pont tries to go 3 wide early. Jackson has it right there, but then, just probably got back onto the throttle too soon. And then around he went. So not good already. But hey, restarts, that's where you're going to have the best chance to pass drivers. And, lap 1 of 300. Is that move by Pont, I guess feasible? Sure. We'll call it that. Little early, but, hey, it's all right. Short track racing, we're going to see a lot of it tonight. So first caution. Brendan Bowie up front still. Frankie Brosa, by the way, is on track, but he is down. Not down lap just yet. He's on the lead lap. Going to get his lap back here in just a second. Going to get the wave around. So this is actually good news for Frankie. Still not sure why he started from the pits. He obviously must have missed the grid, which is interesting. So maybe computer issues, but we will hopefully find out as we get going here. So what's going on, folks, in the chat? Holy, 120 people already watching on X and YouTube. Love that. Appreciate it. Welcome to ASRA, the Harpoon Design Cup Series here in Martinsville. Man, this place is just chaotic. A lot of fun. Very, very fun track. One of my favorites, actually. And just a place where it can be a long race, right? But it's going to be fun. A lot to decide here. And big shout out to Matthew Kent as race control. Probably going to be working overtime tonight just because it is so insane. So it's all right. Working our first caution here with Matthew Pont and Austin Salyers. Uh-oh. Brendan Bowie did not choose right there, so I'm not sure if he'll be given a penalty. We will see. Yellow flag is delayed. That usually means race control will make a decision here. Perhaps not, though. So either way, we'll find out. Good stuff, though, so far. Big crowd today. It's funny when you see all these guys coming around, catching the front pack. Marshall Harris right there in that 21, looking pretty good. Shout out to all of our partners there on the tower. All of that Harpoon, Premier, Admin Box. Great people supporting us. So here we go. Lights are off right now. Should go back green this time. Looks like just had in order. That's the thing about these short tracks, man. It can be hard to get the grid back in the right spot, and delaying that yellow can definitely help. Let's try it again. Green flag. About to come back out. Again, first stage ends on lap 50. Brandon Bowie, Mark Whitley now up front. And we are back green. Good stuff already throughout the field. Back at the field, looking pretty good right now. A little bit of movability right there. Is that even a word? We're going to find out. Somebody grab a dictionary, encyclopedia, something. Dohar in the back of the field, a little bit, kind of getting shuffled. Just a tad. A lot of these guys, look at the braking zone difference right there. Dohar, Kaufman right in the middle. That's going to be the telltale sign. Scott Gasord already has front damage 3 wide here coming into turn 1. Pont getting shuffled out. Max Brady going to try and sneak his way through on the inside. And this is the thing, Martinsville can get long green flag runs. Once drivers get single file, that'll happen at some point. But man, it can take some time. Front of the field here. Ooh, Johnson hit the corner there, the curb. Ooh, hold on to her. Got to be so patient on corner exit because that bump will get you. The curbing on the inside, but also just the fact that you're going from about 60 miles an hour around these corners up to about 130 or 40. The acceleration really gets those tires working, gets you super loose. So far, though, we're starting to figure it out. And right now, Johnson leaning on Nick Lights. Blaze Crawford right up ahead, too. Looking pretty good so far. Getting a good run. Showing Jackson Anderson back down pit road. This is not good for him. I see his left front damage pretty well dinged up. Matthew Griffith around right now as well. Don't think these are correlated. I don't see any damage there, actually. Oh, yeah, now I do. Left front for that 15. Not terribly beat up, but definitely something to watch out for. Had a couple good laps still. Let's take a look back at what happened here. Yeah, Anderson comes down pit road. Trying to see if we can paint the whole picture here. So Anderson comes down pit road at some point here. I don't see why, or maybe if these are related. I don't believe they're going to be. Oh, look at the wheel. The left front wheel looks pretty cambered out. I'm not sure if that's the case or not, but that looks like to be the case. But Griffith, here he comes. Oh, yeah. Way too hard on the brakes. Way too late in the braking zone. He tried to send it, but those brakes could not handle it. Got to be careful. You cannot send it that hard into the corner. And that is the case right there. I'll try and get an onboard view, actually. I want to see if I can get that for us real quick. Here's Griffith from the cockpit. Watch how late he brakes in. Yeah, and then downshifts way too early as well. So that's going to really mess up the car. It's not going to like that at all. So keeps it going. But second caution of the day. I've already prepared myself mentally for a lot of cautions tonight. So if you want to get the inside the mind of Steve Tucker, that's where we're at right now. Prepared for it. But hey, you know what? We expect that, right? You put Martinsville on the schedule in the playoffs. Come on now. It's going to happen. All right, so lap 17 right now. 300 laps, though, ahead of us. A long way to go. Big thanks, folks, for being here, obviously, watching the stream on YouTube or X, whichever one you're on right now. Appreciate it. Everyone right now choosing which lane they're going to be picking here. All right, here we go. Pace car in right now. Bowie and Whitley back at it. Green flag, number 3. Off we go. Diving in deep. I have noticed one thing. The outside lane does work. In practice, it worked really, really well, especially last night in the official practice. So we'll see if that can work the same way here. Back to the field. Let's try and get a look at what's going on. Ooh, Whitley big into the wall here. And then Dylan Bates Another yellow flag. Looks like Mark Whitley would have been the one involved in that. Not completely sure. But man, let's take a look. All I saw was him sideways. I'm not sure if that was the actual case for it or not, but we'll take a look either way. Oof. Man, hard hit there. Trying to see if we can get a better angle. Come on now. Here we go. This should tell the story here. So side by side with Smecker here. Yeah, Smecker kind of drives him up, to be fair. So that's interesting. Yeah, oh, Mark just loses it. Yeah, just flat lost it. Dylan Bates has some damage as well. I don't think he got killed too bad, but... yeah, some right front, but not terrible, unfortunately. Looks like Whitley has some front end damage there too. Not a ton, but definitely going to be enough to affect that race car. A couple of more notables on pit road right now. Tyler Dohar. Dylan Bates obviously trying to fix the damage as well. So a couple of guys. So lap 23, folks. Bonepool in the chat. Hashtag movability. I like that. We're just making up words. Listen, we're sitting here. We're chilling, okay? We're in a comfy position. I've got a couple of extra pillows. I've got a couple of adult Capri Suns. Okay, we're vibing, man. You know? We're feeling good. Lap 24, though. We're gonna get it. Hey, this is that attrition race, right? You know, the playoffs, and I guess the way that the ASRA structure is for playoffs, it's not easy, right? Last week, Darlington, arguably, you know, one of the harder tracks on the circuit, and then now we go to Martinsville, which is very, very tough. But it's kind of a wild card in its own way, right? Because you have the fact that people can crash, right? Left and right, and big wrecks, and it's tight. So it kind of has that, you know, that super speedway-esque, you know, wild card in the sense that, hey, one big wreck could ruin your night, right? Because there's no fast repairs, there's no, you know, things like that, right? So that can all change very, very quickly. Here we go, though. Back to the green flag. Brandon 6. Brandon Bowie, teammates up front. Getting down to it. Let's try it again. Green flag is out. Oh, Brandon 6. Spun the tires in 3 wide, just like that. That's how easy it can happen. Back in the field, Villalobos. Big mess. Dohar as well involved. Crashes behind. Mark Whitley also involved as well, trying to get through it. So lap 28, caution out again for a pretty big one, actually, in the back of the field. I believe it majority of it went down with Julio Villalobos. We'll go back and take a gander. Let's find out here. Oh, 3 wide here. So, yeah, Villalobos kind of charging for that inside there. I'm not sure if that's the move we want to make. But Daryl Young squeezes through. Max Brady the same. Playoff driver there trying to make his way through. Oh, no. Salyers hits the barrels there. And then Dohar, unfortunately, Arca breaks through him. But at that point, it's really hard to see from his angle. I'm guessing these corners are really, really tight. And that can't happen. So Dohar affected there. That's not going to be good for him. Looks like Zelazny as well actually kind of snuck through. Pace car going to try and, just goes right through Salyers. So snuck his way through. The pace car did. So here we are. 4th caution of the night. Somebody started a poll. I'm not going to mention who. In the league Discord. In chat, I want your opinion. Okay? So the poll was, will we break the ASRA record for cautions tonight? And apparently, the record is 22 at Richmond from last season. I didn't know that. 8 people say yes, 3 people say no. I love that. That's pretty funny. So far, we're on pace to break it. I will say. I hope we don't, though. 22 is an awful lot, but we'll find out. Obviously, 27 cars on a short track like this, you just never know. A couple of guys going to be taking the wave around here, front of the pack, but still, a couple of guys remain up front too. So, fast guys getting through the field. Anderson as well as Salyers. Quick update on Anderson, actually. So I guess Anderson had a meatball flag, apparently, from his contact earlier. I'm still trying to get confirmation on a few things. It looks like he maybe got the meatball, but then the caution came out. So it DQ'd him for a second. I'm not completely sure on that. We're still waiting on some more details. Either way, going back green here. Bowie and Blaze, front row. So far, big battles. Oh, another one. Who's this in the back? Griffith again. Looks like goes around here. Car in really, really bad shape now, so I'm not sure if he got obviously hit way harder than he would have liked. Let's take a look. That's the second caution potentially here caused by Griffith. See if we can find out what goes on. He's not really around anybody right now. Let's see if he... Yeah, oh my word. Does the same thing, essentially, as his first caution, just kind of breaks it in too late. And then around he goes. So under our 5th caution, already 35 laps into the race. Told you folks, hey, grab the popcorn, grab your favorite beverage. This might be a wild one. But hey, Martinsville, it's implications, right? At some point, the guys who keep wrecking, they're going to find themselves out of the race because their car is too well dinged up, or they'll be DQ'd because of too many cautions caused. So you just never know. Either way, a long race. Typically, actually, truthfully, I've seen these races start off like this, and man, they just we go green the second half of the race. I look back at, I think it was last season's Bristol race, actually. A couple cautions, or like 5, 6, 7, 8 cautions early on. And then, man, we just went green for a long, long time and turned it into a great race. So we'll see that if we can. But top 10 looking pretty good here as far as stage points. Tim Robert here in P7, Michael Johnson. A bunch of guys here need to have good days. And not just good days in the sense of like finishing position. They got to get stage points. You know, I'm looking at Joseph Mealy in the number 6 W3I. Man, needs a good day today. Points wise, Christian Angel. Again, not in the playoffs per se, but in the Challenger playoffs. It's one of our lower tier playoffs we have, and looking to get himself into that next round. So, a couple of guys on pit road. Dohar, there he is, and Zelazny, pretty beat up after that last couple of cautions there. Austin Salyers has some front end damage. Overall, not too bad. Nick Light's actually being shown as off the track. I'm not sure if that's potentially even Jackson Anderson. So we'll get word on that. We'll try it again. Crawford and Bowie up front. Going back green this time, lap 39. Three wide right here. This is the pack we're going to watch out for. I feel like the top 10 or so, usually pretty good, but back here is where it's usually a pretty rough outing. So far, though, pretty clean. Dylan Bates got a little loose there. Oh, Daryl Young looks really out of shape right here. Really, really slow. Looks like that was Grant Celzano. Bringing out that yellow flag. Where was that again? Man. Oh, it says Daryl crashed, but I don't... That's not what we saw on our end, but yeah, sometimes it registers as a driver being crashed if they slow down too much, and yeah, he slowed down quite a bit right here, so that's interesting. And then unfortunately, it looks like Celzano, ooh, and then Whitley, his teammate, plows into him. Try and get a better look at that one. So Celzano here in the 14. Brakes pretty, yeah, kind of does the same thing as Griffith was doing. Just broke in way too late. And that back end goes around. Usually, you know, with this car, typically with this, you know, setup, the back tires, yeah, that front tire's not even moving now. That's a shame. With these setups, typically, you brake so hard here, the back tires are typically, the brake bias is much higher for those. So when you step in the brakes, the back end really, or I guess can, kind of kick out from under you. And that's what we've been seeing, especially with a bunch of these guys, Griffith and now Celzano. So a bunch more coming down pit road. This is not the stage yellow just yet. So again, we will go to lap 50 for the official stage end, but if a caution comes out before or within, 5 laps of the scheduled stage end, so basically anything from lap 45 and on, that caution will count as the stage end. So we will see. Here we go. Choose car right now. Not really choose car. Used to have the choose car, but choose line is now here. I'm going to figure out which lane to go in. So here we go. Lap 45. We're going to go green on lap 46. So this next caution, if we get a caution before lap 50, that will be the stage end. A lot of these guys, this is self-inflicted cautions, right? It's not from super hard racing, I feel like. It's just driver error. Driving in too hard. Spinning out. Gotta fix that. Here we go. Bowie and Crawford. Who will take stage 1? We're going green right now. Oh no, Joseph Mealy in the back, right there. Big caution. That's going to be it, lap 47. So that will end stage 1. Mealy, that's not what he wanted and needed for sure to get points for the playoffs. Brandon Bowie, though, will be the stage 1 winner. Exactly what he needed to get himself into the next round. Some more points. 10 points, obviously, and then that 1 playoff point. So good stuff right there. Let's go back if we can and find out what happened here. Big wreck involving a bunch of guys, it looks like. I saw Mealy, so it might have started with him. So there's Mealy, that number 6 right there. See him side by side, Max Brady. It dives. Oh, Dylan Bates just sends it. Man, that is not good. Nick Lights also involved. He was in the back for some reason. We don't know why Nick Lights was in the back of the field there. He might have had a connection issue, but that is not good for him. So a big moment there. I'll tell you. Hey, this is going to come down to attrition, right? Who's going to have the healthiest car, the cleanest car, as we get around to it? Right now, though, big implications already. See if we can steal Brandon Bowie real quick. See if we have time to do that. I think we do. Let's bring him in real quick. Here he is. Hey, Brandon Bowie, Steve at the booth, man. You got me?
Yes, sir.
Hey man, so far a pretty wild one. A lot of yellow flags. Not too shocked by that, I guess. But man, yeah. How's the car feel? How's the track feel? I mean, like, hey, stage 1 winner. Pretty good start so far.
Yeah. I only got 10 points to the good on the for the cut line. So yeah, these points will definitely help. The track is it's okay. It's about what I expected. My honest concern is when it actually starts to become morning, right, which is then about not too long from now. I think it's about 5:53 a.m. So when it switches over and that sun starts to come up, I think the track is going to really take a change. So that's my biggest concern right there.
Sounds good, man. Going to be a race of attrition, I feel like, just, you know, holding on to your car and the fenders. But hey, so far a pretty good race. Good luck, man. Rest of the way.
Thanks, Steve.
All right, there he is, Brandon Bowie. P1 right now and got the pole. Right now going to be able to get that stage 1 win. So good stuff right there. Stage 2 going to be lap 150. So we have some time still, obviously, to go. Big thanks to our partners right there on the left side. And Premier Setup Shop. Harpoon Design. But here we go. Stage 2 about to be underway. On lap 53, Brandon Bowie, Scott Gasorin up front. A couple of guys chose some alternate strategies here. Let's see if it can play out. Going back green. Nick Lights, Matthew Pont involved right here. For our 8th caution of the night already. Jeez. Take a look. I've got a feeling it's going to be the same thing we saw or have been seeing. Where's Matthew Pont? Here he is. Yeah, I mean, just sending it in too hard. That's all it is. Sending it in way too hard right here, Matthew Pont. We got to chill out on the braking zone. That's what happened. Collected Nick Lights as well right there too, so doesn't seem too bad as far as damage. But man, a couple of these guys, we gotta lock it in. Mark Whitley pretty well beat up too, it looks like, on the front end. Can't see his front end right here, but all Daryl Young now pitting as well. Don't think he has damage, but maybe taking fuel and tires here. But up front, though, still going to be Brandon Bowie, Tyler Dohar. Even though it's the number 2, Nick's driving the Hosky 10. I'm not sure what that means, but it sounds funny to me, so I'm gonna laugh. You know? So right now, lap 57. Obviously, we have about 93 laps to go until the stage 2 ends. A possibility to have long green flag runs here. It's just a matter of, you know, so far I'm seeing tonight, it's not necessarily, I mean, it is hard racing, but it's not like, it's not hard racing in the sense of like driver on driver, right? We saw maybe 1 caution, maybe 2, I think, actually, that might have been, you know, a contact or, you know, things like that. But for the most part, what I've seen is guys just sending it way too hard into the corners, right? In the braking zone. And that just does not work. The guys got to really chill out. To be fair, I think everybody went into this race with the expectation that it could be a caution fest, but it's still, a lot of these can be prevented for sure. So maybe we'll learn it starting from right now. Let's see. Brandon Bowie, Blaze Crawford up front. Back green flag we go. Crawford spun the tires there. Gets it back going. Inside lane going to prevail just a little bit. Dohar makes a move and now has P2 for a second. Crawford, though, makes it work on the outside still. So far, awesome racing up front. They have not let us down here. Good stuff. A couple of guys fading back. Scott Casoren started P2 a second ago, but now fading back. Tim Robb really making a good impression here, working his way back up to the front. Andrew Phipps, man, sent it in right there, but he had the lane to do it, right? That makes sense. Fleming was kind of high, and Phipps just sent it in low. That's a good move. Gonna get that position back. Mealy bouncing back a bit right now in 16th after his spin out earlier on. Doing really, really well. Oh, Tim Robb, we're just talking about him, and he goes around right here. I think he was by himself too, maybe, but I don't see any damage on that 57. Let's take a look. Yeah, it looks really clean. Just a solo spin out. I'm guessing again. Let's take a look. Tim Robb, here we go. Right in between Max Brady and Smecker here. So coming into turn 3, it looks like. Kind of a stack up there. Okay, maybe not yet. Oh, yeah. Hard and... Yep. Whoop. Kept it going. Weird that that brought out a caution. I mean, I guess he was basically stopped on track, but... That'll do it. Saved it well. But, yeah, sometimes that can happen as I'm hearing cars into the wall. Who was that? Under yellow. But yeah, Tim Robb, no damage. Just, man, just got loose. But I'm seeing that, right? Too hard onto the brakes. You gotta back up the corners. And a meme was born. What did I say? Now I'm curious. You know what? I'm cool with it. Oh. Oh, that's pretty funny. In the chat, Bone Pool, love that. So lap 65 right now. Bowie at front, Crawford, Barroso. Man, Frankie has made a huge comeback from starting in the pits, which, but hey, here's the thing, right? When you know how to drive this track, and when you put the practice in, it yields results, right? I look at right now this top, I don't know, top 10, I would say. And, you know, maybe a couple of more outside of that have had some bad luck, but so far, typically the guys that I've seen in the front top 10, or maybe even, you know, around the top 10 are guys that I see practicing, right? And I don't mean to call people out. I'm just saying, like, when you practice, and when I see people in our official ASRA practices, they typically do really well, right? But right now, we're seeing some guys not really doing too hot, right? And you got to know the car, right? You got to come into a race like this and know what the car's going to do, know the braking zone, know that you can't just send it, and things like that, right? It's a collective effort. That's what makes the races great, is everybody together. Everyone has the tools to succeed, but not everyone uses the tools. You know what I mean? So here we go. Restart number 10-ish. Brandon Bowie, Frankie Barroso up front. Getting back to it, lap 68. Off we go again. Man, good racing here. Michael Johnson and Dohar a second ago. Dohar's going to fall back here. I'm not sure he took tires this last couple of pit stops, but man, trying to keep that track position, and that definitely pays dividends, right? Last week at Darlington, we saw track position being key. And right now, it'll do the same thing, but this track, especially with this setup, the outside lane can work. And I've already seen some guys make passes around, especially if these guys are slower enough too, right? That can definitely happen. Ooh, yellow flag. Who is it again? Dylan Bates. I mean... oh, boy, oh, boy. Let's take a look at it. So Dylan Bates right here behind, who is that? Smecker and Johnson. So Johnson right here. Yeah. Ooh, Bates just got loose on exit. I'm not sure why we're not holding the brakes right there. because we know that there's going to be guys behind you, right? So I'm just kind of flabbergasted. I think what he was trying to do is go down into the pits just because the pit entrance is right there, but there were guys coming. So you just gotta, you know, like at that point, if you're spinning out, right? And I don't know. Like if I'm wrecked, right? Or if I'm wrecking or spinning out, whatever, and I realize that a whole lot of guys are coming behind me, you have to just stop, right? So it's tough. And I get it, right? Heat of the moment, it can be a daunting thing, right? You want to just get off the track, and it all makes sense. We were blessed last week at Darlington because Darlington, the apron, what's considered off track, is much bigger than the actual racing surface, which is great, right? Because typically if things happen down there, cautions don't come out. But here, the entire track is considered racing surface. So that's typically why there's more cautions than not because of that case. But it's all good. Long way to go still. A couple of guys on pit road. Anderson I'm seeing here. Mark Whitley, Salyers. And the good thing, you know, for a person like, I guess like Anderson, right? Like looking at him, his race so far has not gone very well. And I mean, right now, you know, had a run in that first caution, I think a lap 4, he got involved in, right? And I mean, as far as, you know, points, I mean, he's looking decent right now. About 21 points to the good in the playoff hunt as far as entering this race. So not in a bad shape, but definitely needs to have a, you know, just a decent race, right? And so far, man. But a guy like this who, you know, can compete well, right? Couple of wins in the season. But so far, bad luck today. You know, he can repair all of his damage under these yellow flags and then get back to the front. So it's all good. Looks like William Griffith still on pit road from earlier, so there is that. Salzano maybe out of the race right now as we see it. So here we go. Back green flag. Nick Lights pulls way off in the back here. I'm not sure if he's just slowing down on purpose. Looks like he might be trying to preserve that car. Smart move, if that is the case. Blaze Crawford making a move here against Frankie Barroso, and you can start to see it. Sunlight is starting to appear. Devin Sprecher. Let's take a ride on board real quick if we can get to it. Hosky Hot Lap on board Devin Sprecher. Right now in P4, looking really, really good. You can see though, beyond the grandstands, the light is appearing. Again, this is a sunrise race. The sun will be coming up here. It's morning time. And as the sun rises, who else can rise to the occasion here to win this Fetch 300? Devin Sprecher looking very, very good in P4, holding on to a smooth wheel and staying up front where all the calamity is missed. So far, a very, very good run for the 26. Ooh, little door bang action right there. I think Sprecher might have got into the 48. Ooh, tough. Yellow flag is out though again. Who is it? Looks like maybe Dohar and Tim Robb potentially, I'm being told. See if we can find out exactly what happened here. But Dohar. Oh, yeah, Rob kind of gets into him. Oh, man, lordy. I can't tell from that angle if Dohar came down into that lane or if Rob kind of came up. It's really hard to tell, but we will leave that up to race control. So far, so good. Lap 81. Brandon Bowie up front. Crawford, Barroso, Smecker in 6. Your top 5. Johnson, Brady, Phipps, Angel, and Gasorn. Your top 10. Working our way through stage 2 right now. So far, 11 cautions on the track. Not even halfway through just yet, but it's going to be an attrition race for sure, right? Who can get through this race? We knew Martinsville was going to be a mess. It's just the nature of the beast. In every league, Martinsville is always that track. That is just, it's never a good time, right? But it's, for me, it's fun for the viewer. And man, it's going to be a good time to see who can just kind of get through, right? It kind of, and this is why I said earlier, right? It kind of has that wild card-esque vibe similar to a super speedway, right? You just don't know how you're going to come out of it on the other end. A big one can happen, you know, one wreck dictates most likely your entire night. So in a case like this, right? That's why I mentioned earlier, man, qualifying is so key, right? Track position's huge. You got to find a way to stay up front and stay consistent. But so far, top 10 typically have looked really, really good. We saw that one caution come out of the top 10 with Mark Whitley. But even him, he's coming back pretty well. He's in that front pack here. Well, he's 16th, but the car looks pretty good, so I expect to see Whitley up front at some point again for sure. Looks pretty well clean, actually. So, yeah, pretty good job repairing that. And again, the yellow flags help that, right? So it helps the fast guys kind of get back into the picture because you don't need a perfect-looking race car as we get this thing going on. So either way, sunrise starting to go on right now. Track will definitely change as we continue. Here we go, though. Bowie and Crawford. Man, Bowie got a fantastic restart right there. Really jumped out. His teammate Frankie going to try and make the inside work, but not quite. Brandon 6 and Smecker looking good side by side. Frankie, oh no! Brandon 6 kills his teammate. Oh my word. Huge wreck behind him. Unbelievable. All that work for Frankie to get back to the front. And just like that, some big damage on the right front, I think. Oh no, that right front might be pretty well dinged up. Maybe not. Okay, I thought it was kicked out a bit, but that is not good. I'm not sure. It looked like, not that he dumped him, but it definitely looked like he just didn't. Well, you know what? Let's look at the replay because you never know. So Brandon 6. So can we get a better view, chopper view or something? Let me see from above. Okay, here we go. Perfect. So Frankie kind of blocks the progress right there of 6. And then, oh man, yeah, they both kind of turn in. Yeah, really, really tough angle. I mean, oh man. It's hard to tell if, you know, kind of like earlier, it's hard to tell if 6 came up or if Frankie came down, but it's definitely not. Oh, Smecker goes around too, it looks like. Frankie might be, yeah, Gasorn gets involved a little bit. Phipps as well. I think Smecker maybe got the worst of it. Oh, maybe not. He seems pretty tame right there. Oh, God. Adding insult to injury. You just hate to see it, right? I mean, but here's the thing. Martinsville, and this is maybe a good example of my point, is that Martinsville can affect the front of the field and the back of the field. Now, typically, the front of the field is best to avoid the wrecks, because usually those happen mid to backpack, right? But in a case like this, I mean, hey, the best of the best can still cause yellows. And we saw that right now, so it can happen. Up front, though, 89 laps into the race. Brandon 6. Most likely going to get the EOL here, so smart move if that is the case, to get himself some fresh tires. If you're new to the league, if you cause a caution, you get an EOL penalty for the race. So, again, Brandon 6 doesn't have any anything to worry about as far as this race, because he's already locked into the round of 8, right? So this race, for lack of a better word, means nothing to him in the sense of, you know, trying to advance himself through the playoffs, but you definitely don't want to affect your teammates negatively, and unfortunately that was the case. So how can they bounce back? We'll find out. Either way, lap 91 coming to green. Blaze Crawford and Brandon Bowie back at it. Michael Johnson just did not start right there. Really held back that second lane. Gets it back going now, though. Tough. We're seeing, I mean, even the best that this league has to offer just struggles, right? I mean, getting into teammates, having a hard time getting going on restarts. It is not easy at this track. Getting back through it. And you can see right here, the fresh tires, just what 6 can do to get through it. Bunch of guys in the back, though, still fighting for every position they can get. Up front, though, Brandon Bowie just solid as ever. Blaze Crawford, Max Brady looking very, very fast. Again, Blaze Crawford came into this race 18 points down in the championship. So he needs to have a great day today in the points. He missed last week because he was in the contender playoffs, or I'm sorry, contender series, trying to make his way into the Coke series, which is super cool. And I believe he accomplished that. So trying to erase that deficit right now, if he can. And so far looking pretty good in P2. Doesn't necessarily need to win the race to advance, but needs a really good points day. So all can happen. Michael Johnson, P6. Trevor Zelazny, man, hey, here's a guy got himself into the playoffs because of his huge clutch win at Atlanta, the last regular season race. And then now here he is, P7 at Martinsville, man. Really, really good. Trying what he can to advance himself again. Looking pretty good. A lot of these guys now are single file. This is good to see. This could mean long green flag runs, right? Get some heat in the tires, in the brakes as well, right? Couple laps in, and then push. Then the car feels better. Your brakes feel better. Smecker way up high right here. Whoa. Not sure what's going on with that 26, but really out of shape right there. Lap 99 coming to lap 100 right now, so a third of the way into this race. We got here way later than we expected to, but hey, that can sometimes happen. I believe I just saw, who was that? Marshall Harris way off pace right here in the back, in 21st right now, matches the car number. Trying to get his way through. Crawford is now 3 seconds back. I'm not sure what happened there, but man, that gap exploded. Not sure if there's some kind of an issue, but man, Brandon Bowie is gone. 3 seconds ahead right here. And he came into this race kind of worried. He had a 10-point advantage, but not a great number, right, to get through. And look at this battle right here, man. Anderson pumps into his buddy, Zelazny. all trying to go for it. Tough stuff. Smecker fighting through. Has the speed. We know he does. That 26. Andrew Phipps as well. These three up front right here. Rob, Phipps, and Smecker. All really, really fast. As far as what I saw in practice and also, qualifying, obviously. And so far into this race. P8 for Tim Robb. He had an issue earlier on. Spun out. Already back up to P8. So a race like this, with a lot of cautions and whatnot, you can really make it happen. Get back to the front. Especially with a solid car. So good stuff right here for Tim Robb. Really impressive stuff. Scott Gasorn started P2 at one point, I believe, at the beginning. Oh, yellow flag is up once more. Matthew Pont. Let's see what happens here. All right, so far so good. What goes on here what happens, I guess, is... Oof. Into Salyers. Let's see if we can fast forward here a little bit. Oops. This should be it right here. I got there too late. My bad. Let's try and find it. Potentially right here. Oh, it goes in really, really hard. Okay, looks like it happens just a second from now. So Frankie catches him. Yeah, and he's already kind of going around. Oh, not going around here, but really, really loose. Yeah, just, I mean, what are we doing? Brantley wrote it in the chat. Let's go, babe. Love that. Number 21. Hold on now. Marshall Harris. There's your mans. Looking pretty good right now. Hey, you know what? Say what you want about our boy Marshall Harris, okay? For those who know, they know, okay? Inside joke incoming. This guy is 19th place right now, okay? But 0 cautions caused. That's all I'm going to say. Looking pretty good. Daryl Young from the car says 21 to victory lane. All right. So there he is. This is where we've arrived, okay? This is what 13 cautions does to you. You get tilted in a whole new direction. The sun is coming up, by the way, above turn 3, and we're going back green here. Bowie and Crawford. Lap 111 right now. A lot of guys still fighting for it. Oh, man. Brandon 6 all over the back end. Evan Sprecher goes around. Oh, Lordy Kaufman. My, oh my. Let's go back and take a look. Smecker, what in the... Wait, did he... Was that... Hold on now. Was there some netcode going on here? So let's get a chopper view, please. Immediately. Here we go. Oh, so, yeah, so... yeah, there was some netcode, just a tad, but he hits the right front of Christian Angel's car and just kind of goes around. I'm surprised it went around that easy, to be honest. But, man, good job saving it. Tough. 14th caution already. Listen, I'm not gonna shy away from it, okay? Listen, I'm kind of tilted, but we're gonna get through it. I said before the race, we're mentally prepared for a caution fest. That's what Martinsville does. Okay? We're good. Okay? We're gonna turn this into a therapy session, okay? Breathe in and then breathe out. It's soothing. We're gonna get through it. Positive thoughts. It's the last time we're ever gonna come to this track ever. Just kidding. Actually, no, I'm not. Brandon Bowie up front. Mark Whitley, by the way, up to P2 after everything that's gone down. Really impressive job to get back to the front. Blaze Crawford in third. Max Brady. Michael Johnson. I'll tell you what. Hey, Christian Angel. And hopefully I don't jinx him. God forbid. But Christian Angel has looked really damn good today. He's kind of been hovering in that top 5. Maybe like 6th at this point, and also 7th place, but looking really fast. Started right where he is, actually, in P6, so impressive stuff. Trying to get himself career best finish here today in Martinsville. And that can happen, right? That's kind of the other side of the chaos, right? A race like this, you can kind of find yourself in a good position. You know, it's you know, sometimes... At least for me, like when I race, when I'm in a slump in the past, racing-wise, I usually find myself breaking out of a slump in the most odd of places, right? And this could be the one for Angel here at this tough track. I mean, that might be it, right? So a long way to go, though, obviously. A little over halfway still to go, but nonetheless, we're going to get it back going here. So Brandon Bowie, Crawford up front still. Not a lot's changed in that front row, but back at it we go. Big battles up front right now. Michael Johnson up front, making a move around Blaze Crawford. And Brandon 6 right there as well on the inside of his teammate. Crawford's teammate, Max Brady. Good job so far, getting through it. We're starting to see single file. Devin Smecker, fresh off of spinning out. Already back to P12, so again, it's you can get yourself back to the front pretty quick if you have the car and have the chops. Mark Whitley already up to P2. Great stuff. Ooh, Johnson. Front tires locked up right there. Yellow flag is out. Marshall Harris. Oh no! I was just saying earlier, our boy Marshall hasn't caused a caution yet, but here it is. Let's take a look. Ye old Marshall Harris. Where is he? Here he is. Let's take a look. So what goes on here? Looking good. Okay, hold on. Behind Julio Villalobos. Don't see anything there. I'll try and fast forward it just a tooch. Okay, so here he is. Not sure if Julio gets involved with him right here, but ooh! Yeah, Julio broke way too early right there. Marshall just had to react to it. Hit the brakes harder than he expected to right there, and around he goes. Good job saving it, but man, tough break. All right, lap 124 here. Here we go, back green right now, lap 126. Just about halfway here. And also just about the stage 2 end. So Brandon Bowie, Michael Johnson, green flag back out. Good stuff right now. Man, a couple of guys really banging off the wall here. Dohar, 3 wide. Smecker sends it on in. There he goes. Good stuff so far. Outside, Max Brady going to try and pass. Angel on the outside does so. And you can see it. Sunlight starting to kick in right now. Max Brady had to save that car. Almost sideways. So far, really, really good stuff. After this restart, again, front has not changed. Brendan Bowie, Whitley in P1 and 2. Jackson Anderson, by the way, all the way up again to P8 after his issues earlier on. Recovering nicely. Same thing with Tim Robb, too. Really a great job. And that car looks really, really good damage-wise. So really impressive. Christian Angel not giving Brady an inch right here as they're fighting for it. Man, tough stuff right here, all around the track. Back in the field, a couple of guys still fighting to get back to it. Joseph Mealy right now in 16th spot. Front end has been fixed. Car looks pretty decent right now, actually, as far as damage repair. So looking good on his end, just has to get back to the front. Long way to go to get that done, though. Frankie Broso, 18th. Got involved with his teammate Brandon 6 and had some pretty decent damage, so has to try and get back to it. Nick Lights being shown as a lap down. Again, same thing. This is not what he needs for his playoff hopes. Just has to keep it going. A change here for P5, it looks like. Brandon 6, Blaze Crawford going at it. Again, as the sun is rising. Good move here by Crawford to get that thing done. Getting through it. Little bump right there from 6. Gets the edge a little bit. Might make a move on again. He does. Looks like Blaze maybe just... Ooh! Blaze returns the favor a bit. Tough racing. We're going to watch this battle real quick because these guys are going at it. 6 is not going to play right here. Oh, they are not giving each other an inch. We'll stick to this battle for a second. Big bump right there. They're kind of trading blows here. Really good stuff. This is Martinsville in a nutshell, right? Hard racing. Bumper tagging away, but both doing it in a way where it's semi-respectful, right? Oh, big shot right there too by 6. Man, 6 is just not happy. Also, too, it looks like he's way better in the braking zone than Blaze is, but Blaze gets off the corner really, really well, so... Oh my gosh. He is not giving it up. Good stuff. Again, just two juggernauts, right? Going at it. Lap traffic here involved. I believe that's Marshall Harris. And Max Brady, that is Blaze Crawford's teammate. So what does he end up doing here? Does he, maybe return the favor for his teammate? Oh man, 6 is now kind of getting into that groove of, you better get the hell out of my way right now. You're going to go around. And he is just not giving an inch. Good stuff. We'll watch this for sure in a second. Up front, Mark Whitley is catching the 34 of Brandon Bowie. Ooh, Bowie way off tilt right there. Not sure what's going on with his car, but got pretty loose. Whitley drives him up a bit. New leader here in just a second. There he is. Mark Whitley. Holy, after everything he's gone through in this race, finds himself in P1. Brandon Bowie really falling off now, actually, too. Not sure if the handling of that car went, but it is starting to get sunlight out now, right? So that is the case. The track is going to change big time as we're starting to see these guys now side by side. 6 in Crawford. Man, good stuff. Bowie really falling back, too. He said it, right? The cars are going to change quite a bit when the daytime comes out. Grip levels will change. The track will already have a lot of rubber laid down on it, so the grip level shouldn't be terrible. Oh, yellow flag out. Looks like Dohar and Marshall Harris. Yeah, when the stream buffers, guys, I can't really help that. That's just the power of the internet. It doesn't show that I've dropped any frames, so that usually means my end is good. But it could just be, yeah, could be a bunch of different issues, but it can happen. You get yellow flag out, lap 144. So this is not going to be the stage end. Keep in mind. So we'll go back and take a look. See what happened here. Let's take a look at Dohar. Oh man. Oh, it's actually Anderson. Comes down into Rob, into Tyler. Okay, let's go back even further here because this is more involved than I thought. So Phipps. Ooh, Phipps gets right into Anderson here. And then kind of sends him around. Rob has nowhere to go and starts this whole thing. Man, that's tough break. Ooh, and then hold on now. Anderson comes back down. What was that about? Let's watch that again. So, yeah, so Anderson here, he comes back down, I think. Yeah, look, he just comes left into Rob. And then Dohar gets involved in this. I'm not sure if Jackson maybe thought, you know. Let's go back real quick while they have the time. Whoops. Okay, let's go. I want to ride on board Anderson's car here and see what he sees. So, boom. Gets involved. Oh, okay, yeah, I'm not sure why Jackson didn't try to get off of the cars on the left right there, but the steering's pretty well destroyed, obviously, so that could be a big part of it, but yeah, tough. The sun is here, and we're going to get this thing into the sun, try and figure it out. How's the race been so far? Well, you would know if you were here in the race. Going back green, lap 147. Mark Whitley, Michael Johnson, P2. Again, this is not the stage finish. Stage finish will be on lap 150. Going to be a 2-lap shootout here to get to the stage 2 end. Who can get it? Mark Whitley or Michael Johnson. Here we go, green flag. Angel really loose right there. Anderson going to shove it down 3. No, he doesn't. He holds off. Good move. Everyone trying to get some stage points through the chaos. Ooh, I believe Smucker just had an incident here. Smucker's not too happy, getting bounced around. Blaze tries to send it into Brandon 6. I saw that. Not going to be enough, though. Mark Whitley, unbelievable. Stage 2 win here. After just a flat-out chaotic stage. Man. Unbelievable. So Mark Whitley gets the stage 2 win. Johnson 6, Crawford and Brady top 5. Zelazny, Gasorn, Angel, Anderson, and Villalobos. Top 10 right there. So, man, great stuff for a lot of those guys. Mark Whitley, though, got it done. Unbelievable. His first half of this race has not been the best. But really good stuff so far. All right, we'll take a quick shout out to our partners real fast. We'll come back and we'll try and talk to Mark before we go back green flag racing. All right, back at it, folks, for the Fetch 300 here at Martinsville. Last race of the round of 12. And we're just trying to get through it right now. Halfway in the race, stage 3 about to hit in just a second. Mark Whitley is your stage 2 winner. I think we maybe have time to bring him in real quick. Trying to see if we can sneak him in just for a quick second. Here he is, Mark Whitley. Going to try and get him in for a second here. Hey, Mark. So far, stage 2 winner. Very good job. Man, first half of the race for you. Pretty insane, as well as probably the entire field. What are the vibes right now?
Just survive. Try to get to the front, get away from everybody, or survive, because it's a little nuts. Seems like we're starting to get a little bit more green flag racing, so thinking maybe this second half of the race might be a little bit more action and a little less, rolling around here under caution. So
yeah,
just gonna be taking care of the tires, making sure you don't overdrive it, and try to put yourself in a good position to be at the end.
So now with all the grip in the rubber laid down on the track, do you think, like, now that it's daytime, we'll still see good grip levels, or is it going to get looser?
Hard to say. Track's gonna warm up here, that's for sure, especially in the daylight. That might be a little bit looser. Sometimes the racing's a little weird with how the temperature affects it, so we'll see. I think it's probably gonna make it a little bit more slippery and less grippy.
Okay. All right, man. Hey, good luck the rest of the way, dude. Good stuff so far.
Thank you.
There he is, Mark Whitley, going to go back green flag here. Again, stage 3. Brandon Bowie, Austin Salyers up front. These guys didn't take tires or pit this last time by. So here we go. Green flag is back out. Ooh, Salyers does the same thing. Oh, man, gets loose right here. Around he goes. Blaze Crawford as well involved. Christian Angel. Scott Gasorn as well. Not a ton of damage from anybody really in this group, but man. Just like that. Salyers. Again, he got the fresh tires before stage 2 ended. But just right there, kind of overcooked it. Take a look back real quick. If I can find it, here he is. We'll go back just a little bit. Yeah, just comes off the corner. Too much wheel input. That can be the case. I mean, Whitley does the same thing right there. You saw that, but not to the degree that Salyers just did, unfortunately. Blaze going to get involved here as well. Not sure how much his damage is going to be. But definitely pretty rough. Angel as well involved. Not good. Lap 159 in the golden hour of this race. That's a IMSA term for Daytona 24-hour race, if you're familiar with that. Golden hour is when they go from night into day, and all the cars and everything has that kind of golden sheen on it. Always a fun time in those races. So right now, working our way through stage 3. We're past the halfway point, so it's just a matter of getting through the rest of this race. This is going to be an attrition race for sure. Most likely also going to be our longest race of the season based on kind of what I'm seeing so far. So that can happen. Typically the races are about 2 hours long, and we're just about 20 minutes away from what would normally be roughly when our races normally end. So one thing to consider too is incident points, right? We haven't talked about that really. Is incident points, you get 30 for the race. So at 30 incident points, now typically if you spin out, you get 2. If you get hit, that's about 4. There's a system going on there. So if you get to 30 points in the race, you're DQ'd. So that's the thing that can be really, really tough. Especially in these races. So a lot can happen. Either way though, folks, hey, we appreciate you sticking around on X or on YouTube on race day. Hey, these races, if you're new to NASCAR or new to iRacing leagues, don't use this one as the golden standard. Just because, man, every league that I see, Martinsville's typically a mess. But they can be good races. But sometimes, man, they can just be downright rough. And this is kind of being chalked up as one of those. But that can happen, right? Every season has one of those races where you're like, geez, that was rough, right? But, hey, we're late into the season. We still have 27 people showing up, so we are doing something right. Not necessarily Martinsville, but we're doing something right. All right, here we go. So, green flag, restart. Frankie Barroso back up front after his big caution earlier on involving his teammate. Going to try and make it up. Bowie and Barroso up front here. Back under green. All right, folks, welcome back to the Fetch 300 here from Martinsville. There it is, the Fetch machine right there on Nick Lights. Looking really good. Big thanks to our partners today, Harpoon, Premier, Admin Box, Hosky, Cardano. Man, Battle Beaver, great people. Big thanks to them for jumping on board. Nick Lights kind of going through it right now in 21st spot. I believe this just gave him his lap back, so good stuff for him to get it back going. Not so good for a couple more guys, though. Matthew Fleming, okay, on track right now. Car looks pretty good. Just having to get it. Kaufman, Grant Salzano, a couple of guys out of the race right now. Seemingly, Salzano and Griffith. Here we go. Green flag is back out. That snuck up on me. Brandon Bowie. Frankie Barroso back up front. Brandon Bowie continues to lead this race right now. Frankie Barroso did not have a great run into turn 1 and 2 right there. Brandon 6 might take the spot over right behind him. A couple of guys on fresh tires. Mark Whitley, Blaze Crawford. Tough battles all around the truck. You can see Austin Salyers coming down pit road right there, servicing his car. A bunch of guys still fighting for it. Christian Angel back up to P11 after his wreck earlier on. Villalobos the same thing. A couple of guys smoking right here. I think that was Brady and Whitley working for it now. Michael Johnson trying to chase. Same thing, that low line. Preferred lane for sure. Whitley tries to block it, but not going to be enough. Man, tight racing right here. Good stuff by these three guys. All great drivers. Trying to make it happen. Single file for the most part in the back of the field. This is good news as far as getting this race kind of just into a good, pattern of green flag racing. We'll see. But good stuff. Braking zones. Getting out of the corner, right? Just don't charge it so much. Ease the throttle. Off corner. Not bad, though, so far by these guys. Brandon Bowie up front still. Stage 2 kind of got away from him a bit. Not sure if he has, just the short run speed. Kind of hard to tell so far what, you as a driver have on a long run, right? The first half of the race, caution filled, obviously. Hard to really tell kind of where you stand. A race like this, you don't expect it to go long run, but maybe it does, right? I mean, you just never know. But now it's daytime. The track is going to heat up as we get going. So what does that mean for these guys, right? Is the track going to get looser? Going to be a little bit more careful on throttle, on brakes. But you can already see kind of in that concrete, that lower end, that track has already been laid down. This blimp cam right here, you can kind of see it in both the corners, turns 3 and 4 right there. You can see that grip line around the corner. So that's good news for these guys as far as grip levels, especially in the daytime. Just got to be a little careful. Devin Srecker up to P2, by the way. This is a guy, man, not happy so far how this race has gone. But here he is, up to P2. Great track position. Just laying down consistent laps. Very, very impressive so far. A couple of more guys. Jackson Anderson looking pretty good here. Up to P13, actually 12th now that he got past. Man, Whitley is not giving him any room, but yeah, I feel like Brady's locking these tires up every single corner here. It's not good. Definitely get those brakes heated up. He's making the corners though, so he's making it work. It's just, dang, it is intense out there. Michael Johnson not looking too far back. He's right there. Good stuff. Bunch of guys making it happen. Six up to third spot. Frankie Barroso P4. I'll tell you what, P4 for Frankie after his incident with his teammate Brandon 6. Not too bad. But this is what I meant earlier, right? By, hey, if you have a car that's fast enough, but also, within yourself to have the ability to get back up front, if you know the track well, you can really just drive your way through the field. And that's what we see these guys doing. Whitley has already done it, right? That's only one stage 2. Blaze Crawford has kind of drive through the field a little bit, but definitely Barroso, 6, Smecker has gotten spun multiple times, and now here he is in P2, might be losing it in just a second to 6, but impressive drives so far. A couple of guys still fighting for things. Angel right here. I feel like everybody at this point has been involved in some kind of a wreck, right? Angel has Zelazny, Dohar, Jackson Anderson, but they're all still here fighting for it. Right outside the top 10. Definitely time to get themselves into the top 10 safely. A pass for P2 just happened. 6 goes around Smecker here for P2. And one thing that we haven't seen just yet is lap traffic. Brandon Bowie getting around lap traffic now. Joseph Mealy starting to fall back a little bit. Right on board Brandon Bowie real quick and kind of watch how he navigates this lap down traffic a bit. Good stuff, right? You have to just kind of run your race. This is one of those tracks, right? Just run your race. If you go laps down, that's fine, because most likely a lot of people will go laps down. So run your race, stay out of the way. You know, try and be as fast as you can, right? But don't try and be a hero. Scott Gassorin going to try and hold off. Looks like he's not going to be able to. This is the dangerous part, though, for a lap down driver, or for a leader, right? Like Brandon Bowie. These guys don't want to go a lap down, so they're going to try and fight him for it. They're not going to fight P2 or 3 as much because they're already a lap down by the leader, right? So, but this is the tough part: lapped traffic. We've seen so many races this season have super long green flag runs, right? I mean, look at Darlington last week. I mean, we had one caution on lap 4, and then it was green the entire way after, but, you know, minus the stages. So this can happen. I'm not going to jinx it by saying it, but we're looking good so far. So just a matter of, you know, kind of finding your rhythm. Once these guys, a lot of them, get into that rhythm, you're in a good shape. You have to let those tires and the brakes heat up. Once you do, you can get away with a bit more, right? And right now we're starting to see that. Big battle here. Frankie Barroso, Mealy. Mealy is a lap down. Again, not the race he really needed to get himself into the next round of the playoffs, but still, long way to go. Little over 100 laps. A lot can happen. But man, oh man. Frankie and Blaze Crawford still trying to make their way through. Frankie diving it on in. Again, lap traffic is going to be the storyline right now. Getting through it. Right now, Brandon 6, 1.2 seconds back. Trying to catch his teammate, Brandon Bowie. Already locked into the next round, by the way, Brandon 6. So this is not necessarily a win he needs. But the playoff points could matter, especially for his ability to get into the Championship 4. A lot going on now. Mark Whitley working his way through right now in P6. Little bumperoo there from Max Brady. Dives it in here. Oh, also lap traffic. Gotta be careful there. Good stuff. This is the part right here where I feel like the longer this goes, the longer these drivers, you know, now they're going to be able to really understand, you know, a longer-ish run, you know, how it feels on these tires, right? And a lot of these guys don't really have that, right? You might practice a long run in practice, But for example, this race so far has not seen that. Right now, this is our longest green flag run of the night. So it's hard to know as a driver, right, who has the speed. You know, Brandon Bowie, he's done very well points-wise, but he has only really been shown a short run speed. Brandon 6 is closing the gap for sure. 0.7 of a second back now. Smecker back quite a bit as well, 3.5 seconds. This is arguably one of 6's best tracks, and we talked about this a couple times throughout the season, right? I mean, 6 only won his first race last week in Darlington, and didn't get that win up until last week. But man, I mean, we mentioned it in the, as the regular season was starting to kind of come to an end, right? Hey, if 6 can get him, ooh, who's that? Salyers gets loose, man, great save to hold on to it. Good stuff. But if 6 was able to get into the playoffs, which he was obviously good on points for a while, man, watch out, because these tracks suit him very, very well. Darlington, Martinsville. New Hampshire coming up next week is also a great track for him, as well as Mark Whitley. Mark Whitley, that might be arguably his best track. So a lot of good tracks coming up. New Hampshire, Iowa is the next round. So 1 mile track and then a 3/4 mile track. Iowa, very similar to Richmond, if you know what that track is like. So good stuff coming up for sure. The playoff tracks are not easy. Not easy at all. And that is meant to be a reason, right? Oh, here we go. Battle for the lead. Brandon 6. Going to pass maybe his teammate here, Brandon Bowie. This is for the lead. Battling tough. Ooh, man, little door bump there. Lap 207. We've seen the outside lane work pretty well. He's not going to have it right there. He might clear him here on entry to 3. Not quite yet. Going to battle him as much as he can. So far, really good stuff. Great battle by teammates here. Not going to give an inch. Bowie going to give it up. 6 had the preferred lane. And that is what can happen. So new leader, Brandon 6. Picking up where he left off last week at Darlington. Can he go back-to-back? That would be very impressive for him. Arguably, this has been probably the toughest 2-track combination of a round that we've had, right? Darlington and then Martinsville. 2, old tracks, 2, throwback tracks in a way, but very, very difficult. So far, really, really good. Blaze Crawford in 3rd spot right now. Looking very, very fast. Not sure that Blaze has the speed to win so far that we've seen. Just got past Smecker a second ago. But then again, right, we haven't really seen how these guys can be on long runs, and now we're starting to see it. Crawford looking pretty fast, but man, still 3.5 seconds back. We'll see. Long way to go, 90 laps to get it done. Smecker in P4. Frankie Barroso back up to P5. Looking really, really strong in that 48. Max Brady, after a very good Darlington, finished 3rd, I believe it was. Man, great effort. Also, same thing here. P6. Don't recall how he did in the stages, but man, looking really, really good right now. Interesting. Our scoring just said Devin Smucker crashed, but that is not the case. Sometimes, if they go too slow in the corners, it'll register as a wreck. So, false alarm there. Mark Whitley in P7 right now, going to get pressure from Michael Johnson. Trying to go for it. Good stuff. Again, the stage 2 winner, Mark Whitley. Great job here, but right now we're getting down to it. Long green flag run. And one thing we haven't really talked about too is fuel, right? Because we haven't really needed to talk about it. But right now they can go about 75 laps, give or take, on fuel. More for sure if they save, probably 80, 85 if I had to guess. So will fuel be an issue? if this thing stays green, knock on wood, they'll definitely have to pit. It's just a matter of when, right? You know, do you hold off until as late as possible? Maybe, right? Maybe you wait as long as possible to pit, knowing a caution might come out. We will see, but a lot can happen. Mark Whitley actually does that now. Comes down pit road. So here he comes. Comes down nice and early. And this is about right. 216, the field window is open. Good move here for Mark. We'll see how that works out. Obviously, a yellow flag would be pretty costly, but you never know. Good racing thus far. Nikolai's fighting for it right now, currently 2 laps down. Has the ability to still get those laps back, right? I mean, needs some cautions, obviously, but can happen. Trying to fight for getting himself in those playoffs. Zelazny really out of shape right there, too. Have Dohar behind him as well. But they have the leader. Brandon 6 is right there. Oh, man. Through the rear view. Keeps it going, man. Good stuff right here. So this is the part, right? 6 is having to get through all this lap down traffic. As we just saw, I believe that was Jackson Anderson. Yeah, P11. He's now a lap down. So these leaders are passing or catching the last end of the lap very, very quickly. 6 is catching these guys very quick. Next in line is going to be, looks like it's going to be Christian Angel here in just a bit. But that's the case, right? If you're one of these guys, you want to stay on the lead lap as long as possible. Oh, okay, getting work. Oh, hold on. I heard a lot of wall being hit. I didn't see where that happened, but okay. Getting word. Yeah, Brantley saying that Whitley was speeding in the pits, from what I'm being told. So don't see him on track anymore. So I'm guessing he might have called it quits at that point. But came down pit road, I would assume, because his fuel window is open. And wanted to try an alternate strategy, but sped down pit road. That's a shame. That same thing at Auto Club basically killed his chances to get into the Championship 12. So, hate to see it, but it can happen. Brandon 6 right now catching lap down traffic, looking very, very fast. Brendan Bowie back in P2 still. About 1.3 seconds back. Crawford about 3 seconds behind him. So, everyone getting through it. A lot going on right now, but this is what it happens, right? I mean, you know, earlier, I would say probably the first half-ish of the race. It's tough, right? A lot of yellow flags, but in a case like this, we're starting to kind of settle in. And with these tires, you know, now they're definitely warmed up, a lot grippier. Good thing for sure. 6 up front, just past Mealy there for another lap down for him. Christian Angel's not too far ahead, but it's straight away ahead of Brandon 6. So he's going to try and hold off and maintain this top 10 that he has so far. A couple of guys are looking pretty good. I mean, right now, you know, Dohar, I look at him and man, he had a rough first half of the race. And, you know, normally his kind of MO is, you know, sticking around at the end and maybe trying a fuel strat or trying, you know, different things. But right here, man, he's kind of forced to race hard for it, right? So far, P12 is pretty good considering his race so far. Anderson, kind of the same thing, right? Really up and down day. But even after all that, right, finding yourself just outside that top 10. Granted, you're a lap down now, but not in bad shape. Still fighting for it. Scott Casorn comes down pit road here on track. 70 laps to go here for the Fetch 300. As the leaders all come down and long green flag run underway, starting to catch the back of the field. We're going to go race day non-stop. We haven't really done a great job of thanking our sponsors today, so we'll go and do that now. And you won't miss a thing on track. We'll come right back.
Fancy like Husky, fancy like Husky, fancy like Husky, fancy like Doggy bowl empty, Lakers pool sleeping, rug pull, cash grab, NFTs delight, rug pull, cash grab, idiot.
All right, folks, welcome back to the Fetch 300. Getting underway right now. Green flag pit stops have just hit on lap 236. Right now, Crawford, Sprecher, Brady, and a bunch more guys coming down pit road to kick things off for green flag pit stops. Frankie Barroso as well. There he goes, off pit road. This is a smart move, right? Maybe some tires, a short pit could help the speed. Here comes P2 and Brandon Bowie. Sprecher as well. Tell you what, green flag pit stops at Martinsville. If you would have told me that an hour ago, I would have laughed in your face. But here we are. You just never know with these races. Brandon Six, the leader, comes down pit road here. And what is he going to do? 4 tires and fuel, we expect. We know tires matter, but does somebody take 2 tires? Does somebody go crazy here and do something different? Michael Johnson takes the lead over. This is good for him. Gets that 1 point for leading a lap. That could be big for his playoff hopes right there. P2, going to be Tyler Dohar. Everyone kind of holding out here. And there goes the leader, Brandon Six. So off he goes. Bunch of guys rejoining the track here. So when do the leaders come down to pit? Michael Johnson. Here he comes. Leader in. Dohar. Not going to lead that lap just yet, but might be the case here in just a second. So Johnson comes down pit road. Dohar, I expect to come down here soon. Doesn't quite do that just yet. There goes Harris right there. Nick Lights, I believe, just came off pit road. Here he is. So here's the leader, Michael Johnson. Dohar now going to be given that lead. There he is. Right now, a lot at stake. 60 laps to go to try and decide this race here. The Fetch 300. Big thanks to them, by the way. Oski Cardano, that whole family over there. Fantastic stuff. So right here, this is going to be Brandon Six taking back the lead from Dohar. Dohar has not pit yet, so Six now re-inherits the lead. After green flag pit stops, Brandon Bowie going to be P2 once Dohar does his thing. Great job by a lot of people here. So Devin Sprecher, P4, Crawford in 5th, Frankie Barroso 6th. We're going to now try and pass Johnson here for P6, actually. Here comes Tim Robb on pit road. Mealy as well. Everyone now kind of getting their services done. They can go the rest of the way on fuel now. Fuel's not going to be a concern. Even if we had some green-white checkers, they're going to be good to go still on the fuel. So good stuff here. Tires. You've got what you got at this point. So far, so good. So Brandon 6 maintains the lead again. Starting to kind of run away with this thing right now. 3.3 seconds back to P2. Still Dohar, but Dohar still has to pit, keep in mind. So, but again, this is a good move, I feel like, too, because if a caution comes out right now, Dohar is in a great spot. You know, because does 6 and Bowie and Smecker and all them, do they come down pit road again for tires and fuel? I don't know, right? They could, and they probably would, maybe. But you just never know, right? That's the hard part. Marshall Harrison getting word that might have crashed out or did something. Nope. He is good to go. He is pretty well beat up, though. Car not wanting to turn, looks like. Unfortunately. Just holding on to it for now. Matthew Pont off pit road. Dohar, here he comes. Gives up that P2. Has to come down pit road. Stretch that fuel as much as he could. So that's going to be it for him. Brady going to get around right here. Really good battles all around the track so far. I mean, I'll tell you what. It's just it's. I don't know if it's like poetic justice or what, but I didn't expect this race. Well, maybe I did, because earlier in the race, I said, hey, you know what? I've seen many races in this league, really, that have become, you know, a hard watch at the beginning, right? A lot of cautions, a lot of, you know, things like that, like we've seen today, for sure. But then it kind of just flips on a dime, and we start to have really, really good racing. And we've seen that now for about 100 laps, give or take. So 50 laps to go here in this Fetch 300, and it's developing definitely into a pretty good race as far as who can get this thing done. Right now, Brandon 6 looking very strong out front. Good effort. Devin Smacker still in P2, actually. And man, looking quick. 8 seconds back. So definitely has some ground to make up, but a lot can happen. Ironically enough, right? As a driver, I can just kind of get into the driver standpoint here. As a driver, maybe like Devin or, you know, Blaze, you know, one of these guys. Ironically, after a caution-filled first half of the race, you know, in a moment like this, if your car doesn't have long run speed, you know, because right now they're 8, 9, 10 seconds away from the leader, you want a caution, right? So it's like, after the hell that you just endured for the first half, you know, you want that caution to come out to get yourself reset up. But a lot can happen still in 46 laps. But Brandon 6 really looking pretty strong here. Puts his teammate a lap down, Andrew Phipps. So right now we have the top 6 on the lead lap. That's pretty wild. Top 11 are 1 lap down. Beyond that, as you can see on the tower to the left, are 2 laps down. So really, really a solid pace right now. Frankie Barroso in 6th will be the next in line to go a lap down. Right now battling Trevor Zelazny. He is 1 lap down as well. So fighting for it. Oh, yellow flag is out. There it is. Marshall Harris, I think, brings it out. Yep, he is around here, right on the exit of turn, what is that? Turn 2. Pit road exit here. Doesn't look damaged. I don't see anything big on his car, but man, that will bring out a pretty big yellow flag now. Let's take a look real quick and see what we can find out what happened to him, man. Here we go. Oh, gets punted. Yeah, got punted big time by Christian Angel. Man, tough. I'm not sure. Again, the braking zone difference could have been pretty big there, but that's a tough one. Bunch of guys pitting right here. Smecker, Bowie, Crawford. A lot of these guys. 6 did not come down pit road. Interesting call there, but that's the tough thing to be, is, you know, when you're in the leader spot, you just don't know what the guys behind you are going to do. So, a lot going down here. Smecker, Brady, Barroso. Most of these guys came down pit road. So this changes the game quite a bit. A couple of guys stayed out. Andrew Phipps. Oh, maybe not. Okay, I thought he stayed out. So we will see. But again, only the top 6 were on the lead lap. So this is kind of a free caution for, you know, a lot of these guys, especially with Brandon 6. And maybe 6, you know, thought, right? Hey, you know what? There's only 6 people on the lead lap. Worst case, if they all blow by me, I'm in 6th. You know, like it's not a huge deal. So not a bad move. Fresh tires though could be the key for all this. Frankie comes back down pit road, it looks like, but again, this is a smart move too. Can fix some more damage if you're in that top 6, top 7. I believe Phipps actually might have gotten the wave around. So one of these guys will, Angel or Phipps, will get back on the lead lap here. So this is huge for a lot of these guys. Obviously, a lot of guys are lap down, so it's not going to really mean a lot for the leaders. But about 40 laps to go here will be pretty key. So lap 260, 40 laps to go. Definitely a long race, but sometimes that can happen. I will say, though, a big comeback for a lot of these guys, right? I mean, I'm looking at Devin Smecker in P2. Man, had to have a big comeback to get himself back into this spot. So great stuff here for him. Brady and Crawford, they've been kind of in this top 5, top 6, I would say, for the majority of the race. So good stuff there for them. Bowie, man, pole sitter, stage 1 winner. Has the speed on the short runs for sure, but hasn't really had to be in kind of that, you know, couple rows back. So we'll see how that can work out for him. Phipps is on the lead lap. So we got that wave around as well as Frankie Barroso. So a bunch of these guys, 7 cars on the lead lap. Everyone else a lap or more down. Here we go. 39 laps to go. Brandon 6. Back going green. All right, caution flag out. It was, looks like Salyers, I'm sorry, Dohar, and yeah, Salyers just gets loose here again. Into Dohar. And away we go. Now, see, the thing that I don't understand as a viewer, right, is you've got, now, if this is accurate at least, Salyers is 3 laps down, Dohar is 2 laps down. So they're not fighting for a position. So, like, why are we racing that hard on a restart when we know the tires are cold? That's my question, you know? But I get it. Short track racing, tough. But hey, that can happen. Couple more guys coming down pit road. Anderson here, I think, is, yep, Gasorn. Fleming as well. Fleming has had a pretty quiet race. I haven't really talked about him at all. And it's not because of any particular reason, but I will say that car looks pretty clean. I don't see any damage on it. I don't see anything as far as, yeah, he's not beat up, so looks pretty good. I think he's just taking care of his stuff, which is a smart move, right? I mean, right now he's 21st, but yeah, holding on to his stuff pretty good here. It's good to see. A couple of guys that are still looking to get some more points. All right, here we go. Pace car has the lights off. About 33 laps to go now to decide the Fetch 300. Who will get themselves into the next round of the playoffs? Can Brandon Six go back-to-back wins? We're going to find out here. Green flag is back out. Good restart for the inside lane. Six and Smecker looking pretty solid. Again, top 8 right now are on the lead lap. Everyone else at least a lap down here. Ooh, Blaze got loose right there to turn 4, excuse me. Smecker the same thing. Has to sit back a little bit. Man, great stuff right here. That damage definitely plays a toll, especially later on in this race. And right now we're seeing Smecker fighting for it. Brady with a great save there too. A lot of guys, they're definitely racing hard because they have to, but man, good stuff. Everyone's still fighting for it. And again, a lot of these guys, right? 9th place and on. They're at least a lap down. I'm looking at Christian Angel. First car lap down. He's in that lucky dog spot if we get another yellow. So he's looking to get a caution. I know we're not, but he is. But everyone else still looking to get themselves into that win column. Oh, Brady hard into the wall there. Jeez, out of turn 4. Smucker kind of gives him a little bumperoo right there. And then Billy not too far back either. 6th though, so far holds on. Crawford right there behind him. Again, Crawford doesn't necessarily need this win to advance himself into the playoffs. And we saw they weren't playing very nice earlier on in stage 1, I believe it was. So we'll see if these guys continue to race hard like that. Does Blaze race him hard? Does he try and pass him clean? We're going to find out. This battle is sure to be intense here. Look at this. There goes Blaze for the lead. Locks him up. Leans on him a little bit. Good stuff there by 6 to hold on to it. Blaze definitely locked the tires up just a tad. Now just 25 laps to go in this Fetch 300 race. We're getting down to it. The top 6 look pretty well even, I will say. A lot of these guys are really, really fast. Smucker doing a great job. Even with a pretty beat up car, he's still right here in the shake of things. I mean, look at this, riding on board right now. Doing really, really good. You can see Blaze up ahead, kind of coming into the corners wide. Get the better exit off the corners. Kind of makes him vulnerable on entry. You can see right there, has a big, wide open arc. But really good stuff here for Smecker. Getting through. Trying to get himself into that next round of the playoffs. Everyone else, for the most part, looking pretty solid. Frankie Barroso, Andrew Phipps, Michael Johnson. Lead lap drivers were kind of getting mired back here a little bit. Mid-pack is about 1 or 2 laps down. And everyone right now is kind of just minding their P's and Q's, just wanting this thing to end, I'm sure. But everyone's looking pretty good. Single file. Spread out. Not too bad. Lead change up front. Crawford. Brandon Six going to try and make it work on the outside lane. Not sure if he can. We've seen it work a little bit, but not too great. Kind of gives it the corner entry a little bit to try and get that car to rotate. Looks like not going to be enough. Looks like Blaze might get him here. Not sure. 21 laps to go, though. Man, what a battle right here. Oh, yellow flag is out. That's a huge yellow flag right there. Because Blaze Crawford was just out front by a little bit. Who was it? Looks like it's going to be Christian Angel potentially. It's going to be the one who brought the caution out. We'll try and find out if we can. Christian Angel, yeah. Try and take a look here. Michael Johnson may be involved with him a little bit. Can't really see just yet. Yeah, not really sure when it happens because it says it's right around now. Little tag maybe from the 39. No, okay. Let's try and see if this shows it. Oh, Johnson tries to go for a move here. Oh, lordy. Oh, man. Yeah, that's all. Unfortunately, that's all Michael Johnson right there. Went in pretty hard, got on the inner bumps there. And spun it out. Couldn't save it. Got into Angel. Also, I believe that was Jackson Anderson too. So tough stuff right there. Johnson been clean and pretty good all race long, but just right there, couldn't get it done. Tough battle. So 17 laps to go. Couple of different strategies right now. So Smecker, Bowie, and Phipps all stay out right here. But we just saw Six, Crawford, and Brady all come down pit road. Frankie, I believe, as well. For the new tires. Now, keep in mind, earlier, Six did not take tires. Everyone else behind him did, as far as on the lead lap. So could that be why Crawford caught him? Maybe, but we'll see. Now there's going to be cars in front of him try and shake this thing up. So we will see how this works. But man, a lot going down right now. We'll take a quick break. Get back to green flag in just a second. All right, folks, here we go. The last 15 laps of the Fetch 300. Couple of guys right here. 3 drivers not taking tires here. Bowie, Smecker, and Phipps trying to stay out. What can this mean right here? Here we go. Back green flag. 14 laps to go here in Martinsville. Again, fresh tires. Begin with that 66. Brandon 6 has the fresh tires here. Brady and Crawford behind him also do. Oh no, Phipps. Whoa, sends it right in. We stay green. Holy crap, I'm not sure what Phipps was doing there, but he just sent it. Brady smacked into the back of Brandon 6. These guys are not playing around. Who? Okay, another caution flag. Looks like Zelazny here. He says he brought it out, but we'll take a look. He's already way outside the lane here. Oh, just, yeah, kind of gets into the marbles there. Oh, man, Dohar again. Jeez. Not able to catch a break. Let's go back to that green flag. I want to kind of watch this whole thing here with Phipps. So Phipps is down low. This is a replay of what happened on the green flag. So Phipps is down low here. I feel like at one point he kind of sends it. Not here. I believe it was the next couple of corners. Yeah, look at that. Just kind of sends it here. Holy. Continues on. Luckily didn't get wrecked right there, but and then you see Brady just bam. Smack him out of the way right there too. So Brady not playing nice right now. But man, tough racing right now everywhere. Phipps though just super sent it. And here's the thing, the longer, or I guess the more cautions we get, the more this plays into a Devin Smacker hand, right? Because you know, every yellow flag, he gets that inside lane, you know, preferred lane. And then he can just kind of drive off and win it, right? So, or drive off and lead that restart, get a big advantage. So that might be big for him if we get the yellows, right? Bowie in that same boat for the most part. But again, Crawford, 6, these guys, you know, they have the fresh tires, so they're lurking. And they don't have fresh tires by a whole lot, but it's definitely enough to maybe make an effort. Now, the thing to notice is that 6 came out of that cycle, that pit road, ahead of Crawford and Brady. So what happens here, right? I mean, now Crawford's in front of 6. So this is tough, right? You know, Smecker, P1, Bowie P2. But again, Crawford 3rd and Brandon 6th, 4th, Brady 5th. I mean, one of these guys, I would like to think maybe would win this race. Again, if this thing goes green, this lasts about 7 laps. I would expect a guy with fresh tires to win it just because they have that, you know, the grip levels and the things like that. But man, outside of that, it's going to be tough. I mean, if you're Bowie or if you're Smecker, I'm guessing you're going to want this thing to end under a lot of, yellow flags and green-white checkers, but it all depends. We're going to find out together, though. Smecker and Bowie up front. Trying to bring this race to a close. Here we go. 7 laps to go at the line. Let's get to it. Ooh, big bump right. Oh my gosh, huge wreck right here. Involving the big leaders, Frankie Barroso. Holy crap. Crawford, 6. Barroso as well, I believe maybe. No, not Johnson. What the hell happened here on this restart? We saw a huge checkup So the question is, where did it come from? Because that was wild. This is a huge... Now, again, not many cars on the lead lap, so they're not going to lose a ton of spots here, but still, the implications, it's like not many laps to go. So let's try and kind of slow this down a bit. So they kind of tighten up right here. I mean, you can see 6 and Crawford. It seems like they try and kind of time when the front row is going to go. And then it just, man, 6 kind of spins the tires here. And away we go. That's going to probably, maybe not end 6's race, but definitely going to hurt it. Crawford doesn't seem too bad as far as right now. Let's go back. I want to ride on board 6 here and just see if he spun the tires like I think he did. It's hard to say. We'll hear it, though, for sure. Yeah, I didn't really hear it like I thought maybe I would with all the cars revving up. But it just seemed to me that, and maybe I'm wrong, but it seemed to me that the leaders... Not the leaders, the second row, Brady and 6, tried to hang back just a touch and try and time when the car in front of them were going to go, right? Which is, I mean, smart, I guess, on them. But the thing is, when they went, the leaders did not go. So that's the tough part. And it stacked them up. And 6 might have spun his tires there. It kind of seemed like he did. Either way, unfortunately, got into Crawford and a couple others, and that can happen. I mean, you're going for the win. You're going for, you know, playoff points in 6's case, or in this case for, you know, Crawford or Brady. You're going for a win, right? This is huge. Trying to advance yourself into the next round of the playoffs and things like that. But for those of you who are keeping track in the ASRA Discord, somebody posted a poll earlier. Will we break the ASRA record for cautions tonight? The answer is going to be yes. Right now we're at 24, so I guess technically if you take away 2 stages, that's 22. I don't know. Either way, too damn many. But right now we're going to go back green. This is going to be, I don't believe this is an official green-white checkered, but this is going to be 2 laps to go here. So here we go. 2 laps to decide it. Bowie and Brady up front. Who can get it done? Green flag is out. Much better restart this time for all the leaders. Bowie going to try and sail it all in. He does. Smecker and Brady fighting for it. Brady really tight right there. Got loose and banged into him. Cars are off in the background. Do we get the yellow flag? We do. Yellow is out. So we are not gonna get the white flag right there. Yellow flag will come out. So that is not the white flag. We will try it one more time. Seems like this involved maybe Zelazny and Salyers. Let's take a look here. Yeah, Brady, kind of a twofer. There's Anderson and Villalobos, and then Salyers and Zelazny. Big old mess. Tw 25. Yes, we have. We have hit 25 cautions. And yeah, I mean, I might I might rage quit. I don't know. We'll see. Just kidding. Only a few of you will get that. So yeah, Brandon Bowie up front. So now this is going to be... Let me just verify actually real quick. Trying to find out if this is the second green-white checkered or if this is the first one. I want to make sure we get that number right. I think the last one was kind of a natural green-white checkered. Okay, it wasn't. So this is the second green-white. Okay, gotcha. So second green-white attempt right here. Now, we only get 3. So basically how this works is we're going to go green, right? And we'll try and restart the race as normal. Now, if the leader takes the white flag, they'll race around one more time and get to the checkered. So that will be good. If they don't, we'll try this one more time. Now, on the last time, if the yellow flag comes out, then the field is frozen at the time of yellow. The white flag will wave as it normally does, and they'll still have to finish the race under yellow. They'll cross the line for the checkered flag under yellow flag conditions, but the field will freeze at the time of yellow. So we're not there yet. This is the second attempt. So we'll try this one. We may get one more. We will see. So here we go. Brandon Bowie, Max Brady, all trying to go for this win here. 2 laps to go. Second green-white checkered attempt. And green is out. Brady with a way better restart right there on the outside lane. Bowie has that preferred lane, but can he hold on to it? Brady got a really good jump right there alongside him. Timed it perfectly. That might not be enough. Bowie, oh, big hit from Bowie right there. Brady going to get around him right here. This is going to be the white flag. Yes, it is by Cardano. Who will it be? Bowie going to send it in deep right here. Not going to be enough. Max Brady takes the lead on the white flag. Who can get this thing done? Brady, against all odds in a crazy hectic race. Max Brady going to get the win here from Martinsville for the Fetch 300. Call it a controversial move, all you want, but time and time again, we have seen so many bump and run moves in this sport. And Max Brady just pulled one off again. Unfortunately, against Brandon Bowie, who has led a lot of the race, pole, and stage winners. But at the end, this is what can happen. A huge win for Max Brady gets him into the next round of 8. Good stuff for Max Brady. P2 going to be Blaze Crawford, his teammate. So 1-2 finish. P3, Michael Johnson. P4, Brandon Bowie, Devin Schmecker in P5. Frankie Barroso in P6. 7th, Christian Angel. Tyler Dohar, 8th. Julio Villalobos, 9th. And Jackson Anderson, 10th. Man, a lot of those guys in that top 10. Unbelievable runs at the end. Great stuff for Max Brady. We're going to bring him in right now, actually. We have had this broadcast go on for way too damn long, so we're going to bring him in right now. Let's go back real quick, actually, if we can, and try and, as we talk to him, kind of show off what went down here on this green flag run. Here it is. While we talk to him, you'll see kind of a good playback of what actually went down. Let's bring in Max Brady real fast. Normally we go 3, 2, 1, but I think today we're going to talk to just the winner, just because, man, we have got to get out of here. Where is he? Max Brady. I don't see him. Here he is. There's the man, Max Brady, man, makes a late race move there. Hey, call it bump and run, call it what you want, but got the job done. Either way, man. And you walk away with a huge win today. Pretty intense race. A lot of cautions, obviously. Not a big fan of it. But at the end, man, you got the W, dude. How do you feel?
Dude, I am ecstatic, man. Holy crap. I did not think I was going to win that race, and then the last 2 restarts, they gave me the top, and then the first restart, I screwed it up. I hit the wall. I was spinning my tires on the first green white checkered. So then I got the top again, and I was like, all right, I got to redeem myself. Blaze talked to me after he just said, just get a good jump, and I think I went at the exact second Brandon went. And at that point, I ain't losing the damn race. So went down in there. He locked his tires up. I gave him a good old Martinsville bump and run, and I was that whole last lap I was shaking a little bit. So I'm glad I kept my nerves down and didn't miss any corners and drove that thing to a flagship Modas 1-2. Me and Blaze Aruja 1-2 again, baby, and we're into the next round.
Yes, sir. I mean, looked really good, and I mentioned it too. Right at that restart. I mean, you nailed the timing perfectly. I mean, you were side by side, if not a little ahead of Bowie on the restart, and then you just kind of made it happen. Initially, Bowie had the run on the inside, but then in a live setting, it was hard to tell if you just kind of bumped him and got him out of the way, or if Bowie messed up there at some point. But you said he locked him up, and it looks like now, watching the replay, that did happen. So either way. Tough break for him, obviously, but good points for a majority of these guys. But hey, a win is a win, man. Second on the season. Really good stuff. I think he might have been okay anyway as far as points going into the next round, but either way, a win is pretty big. So 5 playoff points, that definitely matters, and a lot of good stuff, man. So hey, give us your shout-outs, sponsors, friends and family. What you got, man?
Oh, man. Well, first of all, shout out to the big man, Blaze Crawford, behind me for guiding me through that. He gave me a little tap there in the last corner, and I was able to just keep it under control and drive to the checker. So obviously a huge shout out to Flagship Motors for obviously I was on it last year, but bringing me on again this year. So shout out to them, Flag Motor 1-2, and then obviously shout out to all the Flagship Motor sponsors, Flem Dog Auto Repair, San Antonio Karting Complex, Wheels America, Texas OEM Wheels, Oasis Sim Racing, Southern Diesel Solutions, and obviously Harpoon Designs for the amazing paint. And shout out my brother. It's his 21st birthday, and I told him I was going to win, and I won. So Nikki, I don't know if you're in the other room, Nick, but if you are, this win's for you.
Hey,
awesome. He's upstairs, though. So.
Hey, man, good stuff. Really impressed. Obviously, a crazy race could go either way, and he got it done. So we'll see you next week, man, at New Hampshire. And go and celebrate, dude. Good stuff.
Oh, baby, appreciate it.
All right, there he is, folks. Man, Max Brady, after a crazy race, that could have gone any kind of way, I feel like. And it sure did. But that's going to be it, folks. Max Brady, your winner. We've been here so long. Hey, sometimes these races don't go as they planned. Martinsville can be just a crapshoot, right? As they say. And today was that. Had some glimmer of hope for a while. We had a long, about 100-lap green flag run, which was pretty promising. And then, obviously, the cautions at the end made it even more wild. So, yeah, next time, well, I guess maybe not a next time for Martinsville, potentially. But, hey, you never know. Either way, have a good night, folks. We'll be back next Tuesday at 9 p.m. for the round of 8. 3 races left to go, and that'll be at New Hampshire next Tuesday. We'll see you then, folks. Have a good night. We love you.